Good morning, dear student. Welcome to microelectronic classes. In today's class, we'll be discussing a common source amplifier with active load. So, in the previous session, we have discussed a common source amplifier with a passive load. A passive load in the sense resistors were used. Now, active load, the name active load indicates current source to be used. Okay. Before analyzing this, implementing a current source can be done with simple way like maintaining a transistor in saturation, and therefore the active loads plays a very vital role. Okay, this version of common source amplifier plays a vital role so that it can be easily implemented on a IC chip rather than going for a passive load, where when you go for a passive load, the layout area of the transistor will also be increased. Okay, implementing a resistor is also a tedious process and the layout area is increased. So therefore, we go for active load. Now, to analyze, to start with, you need to give an input voltage for a common source amplifier to the gate. That let me call it as Vi, AC voltage. Then the source is grounded, so the name common source. To the drain, at the drain we will be taking the output voltage V0. Now, between the drain and power supply, a current source is used. This current source is acting like a float, and as well as it is acting like a biasing. It helps for biasing for the Q1 transistor. Now, to analyze, to determine or to derive the amplifier parameter, we need to write a small signal model. How do I write a small signal model? Before going to a small signal model, go for a AC equivalent. The circuit will be reduced to AC equivalent circuit, where from the theory you say that this is a DC source, VDD should be made 0. Only the response of this amplifier is considered for AC. Okay, AC. Okay, VDD is made 0, the current source is open. So therefore, only Q1 transistor will be there, and finite output resistance of Q1 is written over here. Whatever you change the value, the voltage Vi, that is also called as VGS, a small signal. Correspondingly, a current will be flowing in terms of GM Vi. Now, this is represented as a small signal by model. There are two different models like T model and V model. You can write anyone you want. Now, the transistor Q1 is replaced with GM-VGS, and small R0 is a finite output resistance. The gate, drain and source terminal is written. When source is common between input and output, the input is denoted by small Vi, output is denoted by small Vout. Now, looking at the circuit by the inspection, Ra, when you look at from this end, as per indicated in the arrow mark, the input impedance happens to be infinite. The gain of this circuit AV0, since the external load is absent, okay, external load is absent, AV0 is equal to minus GM or not. So AV is a gain with load. AV0 is gain when actual load is absent. So therefore, you need to use AV0. From the circuit with the inspection method, I can even write the another parameter, output impedance, it is R0. Now, this is a common source amplifier, whatever written in with active load in symbol form. Now, this circuit is implemented in the CMOS technology. Like the current source I is implemented using CMOS technology. Okay, like the Q1 transistor is retained, which is a NMOS transistor. Q1 transistor is retained, which is a NMOS. And Q3 and Q3 and Q2 transistor, which forms a PMOS mirror pair, and this is a I reference. The complete arrangement, whatever it is written in the dotted line, is a current mirror. I repeat, the current source I is being implemented using current mirror, with Q3 and Q2 transistors are completely matched. Now, the concept is whatever value of I reference it is flowing will be copied down to this transistor. The output voltage, whenever you calculate it, is V0. It is just V0, not changing, only the current source is replaced. Vi is the input voltage. And the next thing is, whenever you say that Vi is a NMOS transistor, we need to consider the characteristics of NMOS transistor over onto the right side with different different values of VGS. The characteristics of NMOS is written. Since Q2 is called as a load, okay, Q2 is called as a load, which is a PMOS transistor. The load curve is written over here in the brown color, and the meeting points is considered, one point is A and one point is B. This is a region where Q1 is in triode region, and again the Q1 is entering the saturation region, and the lower part is Q1 is in the cutoff region. You know that the different parts is indicated like B and A, and these 2 points are many of load curves are, if it is superimposed, whenever you try to superimpose many such responses of the load curve is also output characteristics. Okay, now after doing that, you tend to get a transfer curve which indicates the region of operation of Q2 and Q1 transistor. Okay, Q2 and Q1 transistor region of operation can be found from the transfer curve. Now the transfer curve is nothing but Vi versus Vout. So where Q2 is a load, Q1 is a transistor which is there in the common source configuration, which is a NMOS. Now this curve is obtained by superimposing different load curves. One such curve is shown. Many curves, if you try to superimpose, you try to get different. Like for example, you consider one more curve if you consider the Q points. Let me call this as Q1, another Q point will get. If I write one more curve, another Q point will get. If I write one more curve, different Q points are plotted down in this form. Different Q points are plotted down in this form, and that is a transfer curve. Now the transfer curve will make sure that, which will give a clarity about which region Q1 and Q2 are present. In the region 1, this has 4 regions. Basically Q1 has the transfer characteristics as 4 regions denoted by 1, 2, 3 and 4. In the region 1, the Q1 transistor will be the cutoff since input voltage is very much less than the threshold voltage. But Q2 transistor will be on. Okay, Q2 transistor will be turned on, because when you try to calculate the VSG of this will be a negative, and PMOS transistor will be turned on for negative voltages. Now region 2, where Q1 is turned on because input voltage is greater than VTN, the threshold voltage, but the moment it is turned on, it is entering the saturation region, but Q2 transistor will still retain the triode region. Once you start increasing the input in the x-axis, okay, so try to increase the region 3. Both transistor enters region 3 where Q1 and Q2 will be in the saturation. This is a very important point. The amplifier action effectively works in region 3 where both transistors are working in saturation. Next, when you try to increase input voltage further, Q1 which was in saturation will enter triode region. The outcome of this transfer characteristics is to say that in which part of the circuit or in which part of the transistor, in the which part of the circuit and which transistors to be maintained in saturation. We need to be very clear that whenever we need to operate the device in the amplifier, device as an amplifier, the transistor should be maintained in saturation. From this part, with the transfer characteristics of this curve, we will come to know that region 3 is a efficient method, or region 3 is a place where both transistors are acting like saturation and maximum amplification can be obtained. After that, we need to derive the amplifier parameters. We just told that Q2 is acting like a load. This acting like a load. Okay, the output characteristics, the output finite output resistance of Q2 is denoted by R0 to VA by I reference. VA is the early voltage. And gain can be found in 2 methods. AV is nothing but V out by Vi, which is equal to AV0 into RM by RM plus R out. Okay. Now RM is nothing but R02 of this transistor. R0 is nothing but small R0 of this. Minus GM is nothing but AV0. So when I simplify this, minus GM R01 R02 will tend to get. But instead of doing that, you can write a small signal model for this. Consider the transistor output resistance R02. of second transistor, R01 of first transistor. The small signal model of Q1 is being written over here already. Since the transistor Q2 has the finite output resistance R02, okay, R02, that will act like a load, which is indicated here. From the theory of current mirror, we have come across whenever you have Q3 and Q2 transistor which is connected to the output part will undergo channel length modulation, will have a finite output resistance denoted by R02, and that R02 you need to consider as the load for this. So first resistance is denoted by R01, second resistance is denoted by R02, and from this small signal model, if I need to write AV, directly I can write minus GM R01 parallel R02. So this is a indication where the gain is getting reduced by a factor. What is that factor? When R01 and R02 are equal. When R01 and R02 are equal, the gain which was minus GM R0 will tend to reduce by 50% when you try to maintain both R01 and R02 are equal. So what is the outcome here compared to passive common source amplifier? Passive common source amplifier gain may be high, but the active load common source amplifier gain may be slightly less or reduced. Okay, but this circuit will have a good stability is very good in this circuit. So this is, and one more important thing is this circuit, whatever written over here, the CMOS version will never undergo body effect. First point. And second thing, this is a part of the circuit is considered, a large part, small part of a circuit within large part is considered, where a negative feedback will be incorporated for the entire circuit so that this will be in the stable condition. So these are the important things. Finally, to quote, the transistor will have, the common source amplifier will have a gain of minus GM R0 when you just consider a current source. When you try to implement in CMOS technology, CMOS implementation, additional R02 will also come into picture. Okay, because the current source I to be implemented using CMOS technology indicate this to be implemented in PMOS mirror pair. PMOS mirror pair. Thank you very much.